this morning's invocation. For so the children come, and so they have been coming. Always in the same way they come. Born of the seed of parents, no angels herald their beginnings, no prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet, each night a child is born is a holy night. Parents sitting beside their children's cribs feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end? Or will it ever end? Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wandering, a time for worshiping.
And I invite you to rise and body your spirit as we sing this opening hymn. So first things first, Renee or Carolyn, could you go get Kathy and have her come over here? So welcome to the Unitarian Church. My name is Nathan. I am one of your ministers. I am pleased to welcome you today. This is our annual impromptu pageant. And we used to, in the before times, get everyone dressed up during the pageant. We're not doing that now, so the people you see in costume did not show up here intentionally. This way. But we need a bunch more of you, and Kathy is going to come and tell me. I promise we won't do anything interesting while you are getting ready. Kathy, what do we need?
We need a lot.
We need a lot. What do we need?
We need animals.
Animals.
Stars.
Stars.
We need 2 wise men.
We need 2 more wise people.
We need shepherds.
Shepherds.
We need sheep.
Sheep.
You name it, I've got it.
If you have ever wanted to be in a pageant, or if you want Kathy to just put costumes on you while you're sitting, go out. Go out if you would like to be in this pageant. We need more. Kathy, is this enough or do we need more? How many more? All right. If anyone else would like to be an animal or someone wise, you have to be able to read or fake it to be wise in this story. All right, yay. Online people, thank you for dealing with this today. This is going to be a treat. So all of them don't get to hear this. Welcome. We have a whole bunch of announcements. The first thing you should know is we just finished a holiday party that we do as a part of the Interfaith Federation. More than 25 of you participated or brought gifts, and we wanted to just publicly acknowledge that and thank you. All right, where do we even start with this? All right, let's do it weird and then go normal. For those of you who know our Minister Emeritus, Steve Crump, on December 27th, I bet you no one's going to know what I'm going to say.
No, they don't.
You do, because I told you. On December 27th at 9 o'clock, he is going to be the guest host for the Jim Inkster Show. So, if any of you ever wondered what your former minister was like as a radio host, that's your chance to hear it. Between the services, we're going to have a social justice, we have all sorts of fun stuff. Social justice meeting in room 7. If you would like to make holiday cards, go to room 1. If you would like to play with Legos, all ages, go to room 5. And if you would like to just play games, go to the fellowship hall. So those are the middle hour offerings. Online people, you could all make cards as well, but at home. Also, I wanted to acknowledge, so Christmas coming up is, today is the impromptu pageant. Tuesday, we are doing the solstice service that starts at 7 o'clock. That's going to be a more reflective service that's going to involve candle lighting. It is appropriate for all ages, but it will be a little darker than a service during the day. Christmas Eve, we will have 5:30 and 7:30. Essentially, they are the same service. We just have difference in what music is being offered based on availability. 5:30 will be streamed unless the tech gods get mad at us, and then 7:30 will be streamed. The 25th will not be streamed. It will only be in person, and it will be at 10:15. January 1st will be perfectly normal, except with no middle hour, because you have to go make your cabbage and black-eyed peas. So that is 9 o'clock, 11:30, regular old stuff on January 1st. We good? All we have today is we're going to do all of the elements of the service before the impromptu pageant, which includes, for the first time since before the shutdown, we are going to have a child dedication. So these are all of the things we're going to do today. The other piece that you should know is, back when this was a one-minister church, the Worship Guild was looking for something to do to give the senior minister a bit of a rest. And so in December, the Guild started doing this impromptu pageant. Within the next 10 years, we want it to be run entirely by the Guild, with the ministers narrating. The Judys have held this. Kathy and George Judy have narrated. They've done the stage managing. The person who helped get you dressed, if you didn't know her, is Kathy Judy, and George is back there too. This is part of a natural transition we're trying to do to, we just wanted you to know that they've given a lot to this church, and we want to thank them, and please thank them if you see them. So, welcome to this church.
I'm not yet 6'3", but I am aspiring. As we're beginning before our stones this morning, we'd like to take an opportunity to share that tonight is the start of Hanukkah, so we wanted to wish our Jewish siblings and some who identify as Jewish and Unitarian Universalists a happy Hanukkah. The sharing of stones ritual here at the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge is a time in our service where we take pause to come forth to share stones to honor the joy and sorrows of our lives with this community. Visitors, as always, are welcome to partake, and if you have joys or concerns online, please share those in the chat. Of particular note for our stone sharing this morning, we would like to herald a new beginning of Henry Tillman's niece, Carmen, who is living in Madison, Wisconsin, had a child whose name is Xavier Henry Hallstein. So our stone for that heralding of a new birth. Those who would like to take part in this ritual, please do come forth, lining up on the east or the west sides of the sanctuary. Our ritual of stone sharing starts. And now we say together our chalice lighting words. With hope to make this a better world, we light this flame. Its light is a symbol of the power of love. We are in a time of year where this part of the earth gets, oh shoot. Okay, we'll start that again. We are in a time of year where this part of the earth gets colder. Green gets harder to come by and the lights get less and less. This Advent wreath is one remedy to that natural tendency and loss. When the world makes it more difficult, just as all good religious communities do, this church is here to make things a little easier. Each week leading up to Christmas, we have lit one more candle. Each week will give us more light at a time of year when we lose it. This fourth Sunday of Advent, we light our candle of peace. In these times, it can be hard to find reasons for peace. If peace feels distant or hard to see, may this candle help you find more peace in your life. May this candle help us find more peace in the world. From the beginning of time, parents have brought their... Is that working? Oh. Thank you. From the beginning of time, parents have brought their children to worship communities for a dedication. In the presence of the congregation, children have been given names, and parents declared their responsibilities for them. In this modern world where people often move from one place to another, we extend our dedication ceremonies not just to infants, but to families with older children who join our community.
For whether the children are with us from the time they are infants, or if they join us When they are older, in our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we dedicate ourselves to the child and the family. This ceremony publicly affirms that all of us, the parents, family members, and friends, along with the gathered congregation, all of us share in the responsibility for the care and development of all children. On their behalf, it is our task to strive for a world of peace and justice in which they may grow. It is our task to help them understand our ideals and our hopes, and to help them find and express their own.
So here's the logistics for you to know. Families, when we call you, first of all, congregation, we're doing 2 services where we are going to read all of the names at both services. So if you do not see a family come up when we call their name, they are okay to the best that we know. They're going to be at the other service. We don't have a lot of chancel space, so what we're going to do is have, when we call your name, family come up and kind of cluster in this area, and just don't get burned by the Advent candles. I will read all of the names of the children. Please come forward at this time. Hannah Chamberlain, Noah Chamberlain, Faye Corbett, Lydia LeBlanc, Leo Mice, Maggie Mice, Paul Mice, Harlow Rainwater, Devin Romanek, Ada Simpson, Sagan Simpson, Cora Feister.
I'm going to suggest you take and hold it so the parents can say the name. So parents, I'm going to ask you, if you would, to say your child's full name, and after that, Reverend Chris will offer a sentence of blessing.
Faye Elizabeth Corbett.
For the world is better with you here.
Okay. Magdalena Elizabeth Mice, Leo Edward Mice,
Paul Francis Mice,
For the world is better with you here.
Sagan Alexander Simpson.
Ada Catherine Simpson.
For the world is better with you here.
Cora Lee Feaster.
For the world is better with you here.
So to all of the children being dedicated.
And then there are more.
Oh, goodness. Come forward.
Come on up, come on up. We have an angel coming for you. Come on up, come on up. Thank you so much.
Violet Vioretta Martin Osborne.
For the world is better with you here.
To all of the children being dedicated. It is our hope that you will bear your name with pride and that you will bring joy and honor to your name. It is our hope that you will be nurtured in affection and tutored in wisdom, and that you will find your place among those who are dedicated to the transformation of this world into a community of peace and compassion and generosity of spirit.
Parents, you have the awesome privilege and responsibility to be primary in these children's lives. You are primary witness to questioning minds, unfolding wonder of their selfhood, and their responses to the world around them.
Will you respond to that challenge with the best that is in you, not to make your children just like you, but to help them become fully themselves and to their own ways? Parents, if you agree, say we will. We will. We offer this symbol of dedication, a budding rose, symbol of the unfolding life. We have removed the thorns in hopes that your lives will be filled, that your lives will be filled with as few thorns as possible. When that you will always be surrounded by loving people who will help you when there are thorns. We also offer you a certificate of dedication so that you will remember this day.
All right, so now I'm going to invite the families to watch out for more fire and come among the congregation. Right, no, right here, right here. All of you come right here. And I would like to invite the gathered congregation to stand and to face these families.
Gathered congregation, will you make a place for
Wait,
these children?
Kathy,
I'm sorry.
Let's do a prayer first.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Spirit of all that is holy, all that is whole, we offer the lives of these children and parents being dedicated on today's child dedication, bringing more light to this world that needs all of our presence and our wholeness. Ashe, Salam, Salam, Amen.
And so to the gathered congregation, will you make a place for these children as they grow, welcoming them and supporting them as members of your community?
It is the responsibility of the congregation to provide for the religious growth and nurture of all children in our community. Will you delight in their accomplishments, share in their sorrows, and encourage them as they grow into adulthood? Adult members of the congregation, if you agree, please say, "We will."
And will you now welcome them and pledge to these families your wholehearted support and hospitality? Let's welcome them with applause. And now, am I doing the offering ask or you? Okay. And now we are going to invite the Pond family to come back up. We moved all their stuff, so they're going to come and put their stuff back where it needs to go. And while they do that, I'm going to give you an extended offering ask. Not because I need to, but because we need more time because we moved their stuff for the families. We are right in the middle of December. And we are asking you to be very generous. This is probably the most people we have had gathered, online people, in-person people. This is the most we've had gathered probably in a long time. So we will, half of what we take in comes to the church, half goes to the food bank of Greater Baton Rouge. They really, really need money. And while they are still setting up, when I was in Dallas, I tried to do a food drive for the food bank, but I decided to pick just one food to provide. And because I thought it'd be better, like we could all provide beans or something. And in Dallas, apparently they don't cook dried beans like they do here. So I called up the food bank and I said, what do they need the most? What do you need the most? And she said, we need jelly. Jelly. Everyone loves giving peanut butter because it's healthy and it's good for you, and poor people deserve things that aren't fun but are just healthy. So the food bank has to buy the jelly to provide for the families, right? Because often people do not think of providing also the things that bring joy, the other side of the sandwich. So when you give to the food bank, it allows them to supplement the food and to allow for whole packages to go to families that need it. So with that, I will ask you to give very generously as this morning's offering is gratefully given and received. All right, give us a second while we get ready. I think you'll need that more than me, right? We have often read this story. Are we good? Yes. Everyone's good? Kathy, do we have everyone? Great. We have often read the story of Jesus' birth, the nativity from the books of Matthew and Luke in the Bible. Today, instead of just hearing that story, we are going to make it possible. Today, instead of just hearing the story, we are going to make it possible as much as possible. That is, we will, with your goodwill, cooperation, and willingness to act, make it happen. Some of you, we hope, will take part in this story and help us create an actual experience of this familiar tale in an all-new way, as if we were present at the Nativity some 2,000 years ago. As we share the story, which is slightly rewritten and merged together from two different stories in the Bible, you will recognize the familiar characters and familiar actions. But at times, all of the time, members of this congregation will provide all of the nativity. As the story unfolds, listen carefully, and you will hear directions for actions for what to do. But for those of you who are not going to be up here, listen carefully. Well, everyone, listen carefully to what this says to you and who you see yourself in this story this time. This story is beautiful and meaningful, but it also is about the sheer fun of storytelling. Please do not worry about mistakes. Those are intentional. It's all part of the great plan. There are no mistakes, only the joy of creating this story together. So let's start with a carol. Let's go ahead and rise. We'll do O Come All You Faithful with just one verse. We invite you now to lend your senses and your imagination to this ancient story of the birth of Jesus. Imagine these moments happening for the first time. That years and years of oppressive rule by imperial powers, kings, emperors, dictators, chieftains, and tyrants is broken by the news of a hopeful birth. In a world of wars and persecutions and massacres comes the story of a husband and a wife to whom a child is born, in a lowly stable filled with animals because there was no room at the inn, an infant wrapped in swaddling clothes, and sought by shepherds and magi from afar who follow the voices of angels and a guiding star to kneel at the manger holding a newborn baby. That is the story we are going to create together. And it came to pass in those days, long, long ago, a decree went out from Emperor Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
I was advised not to speak before you. With such an important royal decree, I must. As your empress, I command an imperial tax for all the glory of Rome. All individuals must return to their ancestral home. It is ordered. Go.
We can also blame that woman for why October, November, and December are not 10, 11, and 12. Because they stuck in July and August. Anyway, that's in the script, I promise. All the people of the Roman Empire were required to go to the city or the town of where they had been born to register for their taxes. For some, that meant a long and difficult journey. For others, it meant simply going down an aisle in a church. Joseph, a carpenter living in the town of Nazareth in Galilee, traveled to Judea and to the city of David called Bethlehem, which still stands today. Joseph went to be registered with Mary, his soon-to-be wife, who is expecting a child, a special child, whose birth was foretold by an angel. And Kathy, are they supposed to go this slowly? I'm not a biblical scholar. I don't want them to go fast if they're not supposed to go fast. She is pregnant.
It depends how quickly you need them up front.
Oh, well, I need them to keep coming forward until you wind up online. Okay, stop. Wait, I think they can go all the way up. Yeah, okay, keep going. Mary was close to the time of her delivery, and the journey was dangerous and uncomfortable. As Joseph walked Mary rode her, let everyone see your donkey. But there was no choice for them to follow the decree under penalty of death. They traveled by day and here's why they weren't supposed to go there yet. It's okay, you just stay there. They traveled by day and even by night, lit only by a blanket of heavenly stars. So we need those stars. Who is a star? You know because you have a stick with a star on it. Come on up and stand behind Mary and Joseph. While they're coming up, let's sing A Little Town of Bethlehem. Remember, we had promised mistakes, which includes technology, where the computer will sometimes not load the next slide, which was a problem back at the Nativity, if you remember. As Mary and Joseph arrived in Bethlehem, let's remember this is when they get there. The time had come for Mary to have her baby, but there was no room or bed in the inn. Joseph searched everywhere, and the only place they found was a stable behind the inn, filled with mice and cattle and cats and camels and whatever other costumes we happen to have. And cats, mice, and a bull for some reason. The animals were gentle, this is key, gentle and welcoming to their guests in the stable. They had even given up their hay-filled manger so that the newborn baby would have a bed. And you can come sit anywhere you would like. The animals love sitting on steps, even down there. There you go. And on that night, in a simple stable, a child was born to Mary and Joseph, her firstborn child, which she wrapped in bands of cloth and laid in a manger. Lift the baby up and hold it, and then wrap it, and then put it in. Because let me tell you, the world needs more men telling women what to do with babies. For those unacquainted with this church or with me, that is a drier wind, and I do not actually believe that. And it came to pass in that region that there were shepherds living in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. So we now need some shepherds. Do we need sheep also, or just the shepherds? Sheep, go to the back. Shepherds get lost easily, which is ironic, and they always get stuck in the back by Kathy. And while they go stand in the back, and the stars do this and then rest your arms for a minute. Let's go ahead and rise. Let's sing this next hymn.
Rise up, shepherd, and
invite you all to sit. I will invite the shepherds to stay right there. So here's what's going on. Ed, this is definitely in the Nativity. Can you go up and lend a hand? I'm going to give you a visual representation of what so we have 3 computers up there, also in the Nativity. And their volunteer up there keeps going like this because one of them is not doing something. So they're going to work on that magic while we keep doing this. Here we are. And the shepherds stood watch over their sheep in the field. Do you have sheep, Kat? Are there sheep there? Oh, they've got sheep. Okay. Oh, I see the sheep. I missed. I thought you were shepherds. As the shepherds stood watch over their sheep in the night, an angel of the Lord appeared. No, that's the star. I was not going to say anything. An angel of the Lord appeared up there. Other angels, I don't think, we don't need the other angels just yet. The angel of the Lord stood before them. Good. No, not yet. We're going to sing another hymn, but we may not be singing the other hymn yet. Actually, get out your hardbound hymnals. We're going to do 237. Those of you at home, you should have pre-ordered your hymnals. We're going to do 237. Starts. Oh, it's up. All right, put your hymnals down. Online people, we got you. Let's sing. Seated. Just sit. Maybe it's the standing that is making the tech not work. So now we need the other angels to just come stand right in front of the chalice, but to not burn yourself, because you're going to come up a little later. Then the angel of the Lord stood before the shepherds, and the glory of the highest heavens shone above them, and they were afraid. Be afraid. Come on. The sheep are fine. Shepherds. The sheep do not fear angels, but shepherds. Come on, let's go. All right, good. You don't have to be scary, just them. And then the angel said,
"Fear not, For I bring you good tidings of great joy. To you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is the Messiah, the Lord. And this will be a sign to you. You will find the child wrapped in bands of cloth and lying in a manger over there.
And then suddenly was with the angel a multitude of angels who went onto camera. Yeah. And then they all said together, and definitely we're not going to have to do this twice.
Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace among those whom he favors.
And they said again, better.
Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace among those whom he favors.
Then the angels left the shepherds and walked up the ramp and stood kind of here, not knocking over this. And then the shepherds said to one another, you got the mic, good. Shepherds said,
let us go now to Bethlehem and see this child, which has been made known to us.
wait, we have to do it again because the online people are just seeing the angels. Switch to the other one. Shepherds, come forward like 4 chairs. Also accurate to the nativity. Now, yes, head shepherd, turn and face the congregation, the camera, and the other shepherds and sheep and tell them what they're going to do.
Let us go now to Bethlehem and see this child, which has been made known to us.
Perfect. While they do that, let's sing another hymn. This is Angels We Have Heard on High. So the shepherds went quickly to Bethlehem with their sheep. There they found Mary and Joseph. They were already sitting down because they were that excited. And just as the angel had foretold, they all sat around the manger, glorifying and praising the wonders they had heard and seen, and told the story the angels had shared about the newborn babe. Do all of that. Great. All who heard All who heard were amazed. But Mary kept all these things and treasured them in her heart. Not you, Joseph. I don't know what you're doing. You just don't worry about them. But Mary treasures these. And it came to pass that after, so that was the Luke stuff. Now we need some Matthew. So it came to pass that after Jesus was born in Bethlehem, 3 magi, we translate it wise men, but magi, they were astronomers, from the far east came to Jerusalem, the capital of Judea. So we need follow the star to the back of the sanctuary, wise people. That's you, Tom. And as they gather in the back, so here's the deal with this next hymn we're going to sing. We're only going to sing 1 verse, because if you sing 2, you got to do all of the presents, and that's 4 verses, and that's too many. So we're just going to do the first verse of We Three Kings. Let's stay seated. The verses. Let's keep going. Ad-lib at all. We're only doing 2 verses because you know what all the other gifts are. So just so you all know, sorry Magi, this is not in the scripture. We did like a 4-hour rehearsal Friday to do all of the services. And I guess in that rehearsal we decided 2 verses, and I forgot. So they did bring other things, but we just did frankincense. Now, we have a star, but you're not doing a good job, star, so stand there, because the Magi are confused, and they're going to say something about their confusion. They're not?
Why didn't you tell me? You got the script.
It says there, it says they have a thing that a wise person says.
Where is this child?
Well, but the wise person says it into the mic.
Who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star in the skies and have come to praise him and to bring him gifts.
Great. So, Kathy, does the star come up here and guide him now, or do they wait? I'm asking you from memory. Someone else. I didn't study where the star goes. I know it's in the script, but it doesn't say the star. So here's what we'll do. Star, come on up here, but Magi, yeah, come on, Star. Okay. And the eastern kings learned from Herod, who himself was the king of the Jews, about a prophecy spoken long ago, that a Messiah would be born in Bethlehem. And the Magi set out for that city, guided by the star that had led them from the east, but fearing that Herod would use them to discover the child. So it says, guides them toward the stable, up the center aisle, led by the shining star. Trust what is written. Yeah, so, and the 3 kings followed until the star stopped over the stable where the newborn child lay in the manger. They were overwhelmed with joy. And they didn't go way over there because you're off of camera. Well, Tom's on camera. Salvatore's. All right. The Magi will be on camera.
They should go on this side. We're a little
Yeah, I know. It's very heavy on the side. They're going to sit right up here on the steps. They're not good at following, which is ironic. The star. Yeah, but when you're seeing the star, if you sit right there where you'll be on camera, you'll see the star. Or stand. There they saw with his parents the child of prophecy, and they had previously knelt down, placing at the foot of the manger gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh, with praise and adoration.
Yeah, praise and adoration.
Great. Now, our impromptu tableau of the Nativity is complete. I want to make sure I'm not blocking anyone for the online people. We've got the Last Shepherd. You all can take whatever pictures you would like. If you don't like your face, just do this, but all of you have wonderful faces, so you shouldn't. As we look at this scene, we imagine a special night filled with stars, shepherds, animals, angels, and magi who witness the birth of a child. We imagine a night when people long for peace on earth and goodwill to all. We imagine a night when we imagine a world. Let me just pause here to say that this is our Mary and Joseph from 2 years ago when we did the all virtual pageant, and they traipsed through the mud of their backyard because it rained apparently when we decided to do this. So this is anyway. Imagine a night when people long for peace on earth and goodwill to all. We imagine a world that questions the power of armies and wealth and speaks of the transforming power of love and justice rather than the transforming power of imperial forces. Yeah. No doubt that nativity long ago in Bethlehem looked a little different and a little less technologically savvy than ours. But the love and the mystery and the wonder we celebrate in this story is still ours today. Imagine a day in the future when people might truly believe the message of this story and others like it. Might truly believe that love is more powerful than war, that the poor, the humble, the oppressed, the marginalized are as important as the wealthy, the famous, the powerful. Imagine that world, and we can create it, but not without the same goodwill, cooperation, willingness to act that helped us create this wondrous story today. As our actors hold the nativity for 1 minute longer, I invite you to rise. We'll sing Joy to the World.
Nature sing, and nature sing.
as you go out this week, remember that this is a story about you and how important you are. Go make the world better. Amen. Go in peace.